Decode Series Volume 3 relates to discipline. Like I always start these with, as a black man in America, you will be required to show your gangster and your gentleman at different times. The key in that is having the discernment and the ability to decide when to do which at proper and exact times. Discipline for young, and these first ones again are more towards adolescents, so anywhere from 10 to 15ish, right? Acquiring discipline is the single most important attribute that any young black man can acquire. The reason for that is your discipline allows you to create your ideology and your philosophy in life. You begin to formulate things that you have to do, things that you don't have to do, things that are mandatory, things that are non-negotiable. But discipline, as a young guy, there's a lot of ways that you can do it. Obviously, if you want to go to school, you can be disciplined about your schoolwork. You have a schedule that you always abide by. That's one way to do it, and that's a valuable one to do. Scheduling, make sure you're doing the things that you're supposed to do within that time. Fitness is another one that has to be a part of every young black man's toolkit, is being fit. So every morning, say doing 50 push-ups. So physical fitness is a part of your discipline. Mental fitness is also another part that you need to invest in being able to control your mind and emotions when you feel like you're at the least control, or that your emotions are at their highest point. You will fail on that way more times than succeed. So those disciplines of just initially, I'm saying scheduling, your workout falls within that, but then the emotional part is the one that's going to be the hardest. So physical is easy. Just set aside what your goal is for the week or the month of the day, and make sure that you are attacking that. So if your goal is 1,000 push-ups for a month, divide that up by 30, figure it out, and start on your goal. Now the emotional part, and this is the one I want to focus on, is so difficult, and you're going to lose this battle more times than you win. But you being able to know that you're in the fight will allow you to become more disciplined in your mental approach to things. So for example, one of my sons, Isaiah, when he was very young, if he lost his game or if Penn lost a game, he would be emotional and crying or whatever. And so I had to keep harping on him that this loss isn't that important. So it's not worthy of crying. And after a while, and after you do things, enough times as a young person, you start to get an understanding of that this game isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of life. So as a young guy, you have to start to develop that big picture sense of emotions in an instant. How does that impact my bigger goals in life? When you know your goals, you may not have much of a problem sacrificing the relief of having an emotional reaction to a small thing, because you are focused on a bigger goal. So like these little small things that come up, sure, you may have a little slight emotional reaction to it, but it's not like what you had been doing. And that takes practice, and you're going to get a lot of opportunities to practice your mental ability to be disciplined about how you think about things. Any reaction that you have, any type of response to anything is absolutely under your control. You just have to identify what's happening and know. You may actually have the outbursts or whatever, but as long as you're thinking about it, like, I should be able to control this, I can't, fine, boom, you fail. Being aware of your failure is almost as good as being able to control it, because then you actually saw that you weren't able to control it. So for young men, your discipline and your schedule for sure, and your fitness mandatory, but your emotional control and being the discipline in that is the game of life. So focus on that. Figure out ways that you aren't doing well in it now, and try and tighten them up. Each month, each day, just keep working at it. You'll get to a point where you can be even about everything. And when you get to that point, you become dangerous, because nothing is able to sway you, and anyone, women, hustlers, scammers, all that stuff, they try and get you to emotional state, like excited about stuff. The less excited you can be about anything, the more you can logically identify what's going on and see if this is a scam or if it's a genuine, authentic offer. G Code Volume 3, Discipline.